Hi everyone, welcome back to Soul Sync. I'm Jessica here with another video for you, this time on feeling behind in life and how to overcome it. So if you are struggling with this, feeling like you're behind, you're looking at everyone else's life and you're like, what am I doing wrong? Why is that not my life too? This video is made for you. Keep watching. All right, so let's dive right into it. We're gonna activate ourselves and start talking about feeling behind in life. So why do we feel behind in life? Well, because we're comparing ourselves to others. So when we're little, we don't yet have that critical thinking capacity. And so we're very involved in our own inner worlds. We're not really looking at other people's lives, what they're doing. You know, maybe we see other kids playing a game and we join in with them. We want to do that too, but we don't actually feel like we're behind in life or like we don't have anything until we start learning that thought pattern from our caregivers, from our role models, from people that are around us that we are trying to emulate. So that is a learned state of mind, a learned thought pattern, feeling like we are somehow falling short, especially if we have a goal in mind or people around us are moving in ways that we want to move, but that we are not yet seeing ourselves move in. So, excuse me. When we feel behind in life, we are simply just over comparing our lives to others' lives. And we do this as what I have found is that people tend to do this, myself included. So I'm part of this group, you guys. I've been there as well. We do this to sort of escape accountability for our own lives. Now, it feels terrible to feel behind in life. So that doesn't initially make sense that we would be doing it to escape accountability. But what it does actually is as we compare ourselves to other people's lives and we say, oh, they're already, graduating, they did it in 3 years instead of 4, it's taking me 4 or 5 years to get through college. They're already getting married, these people are traveling, they just got a huge bonus. We sort of get into this conditioned victim mentality, and anything we see outside of ourselves that others are doing or even not doing will cause us to just feel somehow inadequate and victimize ourselves. So it's not always that people are ahead of us per se. Sometimes we experience the inversion of this where we are doing something and we see someone else sort of just hanging out, and we may love what we're doing, but when we see someone else relaxing and hanging out, our mind will sort of get into this negative tailspin and flip our enjoyment story into a victim story where we're like, oh, look at them. They just get to relax all day. They don't have a care in the world. I'm out here doing this. I got to worry about this, manage this. And it sort of falls off the rails from there. So we can often self-induce this horrible feeling of feeling behind in life. We can make it worse than it actually otherwise would be if we did not sort of start beating ourselves up about it. So we need to stop comparing ourselves to others. That's sin number 1 for feeling behind in life. And number 2 is that it's healthy to have goals and have an endpoint in mind for where we want to get to. And it's also very healthy and helpful and productive to have a timeline for our goals. So when we have this endpoint in mind, this designated timeline, what we have to remember is to not get too rigid about it. When we start getting rigid about the timeline, we're trying to control the process and we squeeze the life, we squeeze the flexibility and freedom for the universe to deliver things to us on the path of least resistance. So there are many things that are yet unseen that we can't possibly know that may be influencing the timing, delivery, or abundance factor of our goals, what we're trying to get to, what we're trying to manifest, how we want our lives to shape up. And when we start releasing this control, when we start releasing this control around the timing, the delivery, trying to hit these very rigid milestones that we have in our minds, it can further perpetuate this feeling of being behind in life because we've kind of set this we've pre-decided how it's supposed to happen. And we have set our expectations really high, and that can often cause some blocks within us if we already don't believe it's possible, or we're being over ambitious, we're being over optimistic, and we're not actually allowing ourselves just to be as we are and follow our own timeline. Instead of using the timeline we've decided on and the goal end date as inspiration to help motivate us to get there faster, feel as best as we can along the way to getting there faster. Sometimes we hone in on it so much that we just strangle the process, and then we end up feeling like we're behind in life. So we need to stop comparing ourselves to others. That's big one, number one. And we need to stop being so rigid about following a timeline that we may have put on paper or just decided in our minds we need to follow for the process. Releasing those two things will make a world of difference in how you're feeling and how you're viewing where you are in life. And once we are able to start shifting our perspective there, it becomes a lot easier to be gentle with ourselves. So what we want to do, thirdly, is we want to give ourselves credit for where we are and what we have accomplished. This is something that gets forgotten. When we start getting hard on ourselves and feeling behind in life and looking outside of ourselves at everybody around us, what they're doing, what they've got, who they know, who they're meeting, that's when we get into this downward spiral of discouragement and feeling bad about ourselves and where we are. But we don't see what happened behind the scenes for those other individuals. We don't have 100% of the story. So they might have gone through some really bad, tough stuff to get where they are on an accelerated basis. And we didn't see any of that because they didn't talk about it. You know, a lot of people just want their life to look amazing. We've all seen that on social media. There are people we know who are super miserable in life, actually, when we talk to them, but according to social media, they're just hanging out with everyone, smiling, living it up, having the time of their life. Every day's, just easy breezy for them, and they've got no cares in the world. And we know that's not true, but when it comes to people that we maybe don't talk to all the time, so like not our best friends, not family, but people who are more of acquaintances, and we kind of admire where they are in life, and we aspire to emulate the ease with which it seems like they accomplish things or reach their goals very quickly. We just need to remember that we don't have all the information. So overall, we may be in a better position to launch forward towards our specific goals than the process that they went through to race to the finish line in their goal scenario. So we really have to be mindful of the thoughts we're thinking and see a higher, broader perspective of the process for ourselves and others. Give ourselves credit for where we are, because where we are is always perfect. And I know, it doesn't always feel that way, especially when we are feeling negative emotions about something in our life, whether it's where we are or a certain circumstance that's happening that we wish wasn't happening. It's sometimes very hard to give ourselves credit, appreciate where we are, and express gratitude for the amazing present moment that we have and exactly where we are in life right now. And also to be grateful for our process that got us where we are, because I guarantee you, because we don't have all the information for everyone else's story, we also sometimes lack the perspective to see the gifts and talents we have that those other people don't. So there's a saying that I love that changed my life when I first heard it. It kind of just blew my mind because it's so simple, yet it's so true. Very simple phrase: slow is fast, and fast is slow. And when I really started thinking about that, it changed my whole perspective on so many things in my life, because there are people who race ahead, right? So let's say that you are looking for that special person You wish you were married, all your friends are married, you're still trying to find the right one for you, and you're getting discouraged about that process. Yet, what you don't see coming is that even though maybe some of your friends got married young or at your ideal time, in the future, their life path might be leading them towards a divorce that is going to be really painful for them. Whereas for you, you may just be a late bloomer. And instead of feeling terrible about where you are, feeling like you don't have what you want, and you're so jealous of everyone else because it looks like they have the perfect life and they got there so quickly, so easily, and it's just a struggle, your person that you are seeking is also seeking you. And if you are a late bloomer, your relationship might be leagues deeper than the relationships that the people you know have with their significant others. And that is worth so much, to just be patient with the process, to keep working on ourselves, and make sure that we are really being and becoming the person that we want to be before we start trying to acquire someone else into our life. So that's just one example, okay? So when we're feeling discouraged about where we are in life, feeling behind in life, we really just want to use that time, channel all that energy that could go into feeling bad and kicking ourselves and, slipping into victim mentality, channel all that energy back into yourself in a positive way. Evaluate yourself, look at where you've been, how far you've come, everything you've gone through and overcome. You are a survivor. Everything that you have overcome to get to this moment that you may have seen previously as an obstacle or something blocking you from your desires, just appreciate all of that for getting you to this present moment, because now you have all the power right here and now to self-reflect, to invest in yourself, decide how you want to proceed going forward if what you've been doing has not been working, who you want to be going forward, and just focus on being the best version of you. Because when you are the best version of you, you are ultra magnetic, you are mega turned up, and you are going to attract everything to you, okay? You don't even have to effort, you don't have to action in the world, you don't have to chase, you don't have to beg, you don't have to request. You just have to be, go about your life, keep high vibing in that state as you're working on yourself, becoming your best version, loving who you are, expressing gratitude for the things you have, where you are, skills you've acquired along the way, things you've overcome, gratitude for the inspiration to have those goals in mind that may have you feeling like you are behind in life because you're not there. That just express gratitude for the fact that that's a goal that you are fortunate enough to have, and you are going to attract all of your desires to you. And I bet if you get really good at staying in that high vibe state, feeling great about yourself, loving life right where you are, not wanting more than where you are, feeling like you have it all your desires are going to just start flowing into your life crazy fast. Crazy fast. I've seen it happen all the time for people that I work with. And it's sometimes challenging to get to that point where we can just let go of the desired outcome. We can let go of that sense of neediness, that discouragement, feeling like we're behind. We want it now. We want to know how to get it now. We want to do something to get it now. But the secret is, stop comparing yourselves to others, okay? That will never help. Don't slip into victim mentality. Express gratitude for everything you've been through. Live as your best self now. Appreciate where you are now. This may simply just be an opportunity for you to rest so that you can be prepared when all of your dreams start coming true, when all of the things you desire start flowing to you. We always forget about that rest stop point that we hit many times in our lives. We will sort of go through something very difficult, very challenging, and we need that rest stop. But we have this pressure to keep going because we're not where we want to be yet. We went through that and we want to get to the next good thing. But that rest stop is really a great point for us to recalibrate ourselves energetically, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, physically, if need be, to really just allow ourselves to recalibrate, decide who we want to be going forward, allow our new selves to unfold, And in doing so, we are releasing that old energy that brought us into this state of feeling like we are behind in life, like we're falling behind everyone else, like we're not where we are. That's the old person. We're not going to be them anymore, okay? Once we stop comparing ourselves to others, once we stop looking externally, once we stop doing the victim mentality, okay, once we stop complaining about where we are, shift out of that old person that's not us anymore. Who we're going to be right now is we're going to be someone who focuses on us, takes care of ourselves. We know that it's coming because we've had the thought, we've asked, right? We've asked life to give us these things. We have the goal in mind. We have a general, we're going to shift it from rigid to general timeline of when we want it to happen, and we're just going to love ourselves and allow it to come to us. That timeline is not something we are going to effort against, to force to happen, to make it happen, to bring it to us sooner. We are going to get into as joyful and content and grateful of a state of being as we possibly can. And we are going to let everything come to us. So don't feel like you're behind in life. You are always exactly where you are meant to be right now. There is always either something to appreciate or something to learn, okay? So I hope that you enjoyed this. Please try this out. Please also put a comment below with your experience, your thoughts on this, how you think it will work, how it does or doesn't work for you when you try it, your challenges, your successes with this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye.